Hey everybody, it's Wilbits! We're playing Ace Attorney, Apolojustice! Case 3, Trial 2. This should be the final trial, going into all of that. And also, just as a heads up, I'm mirrored of myself, so I may react a little weirdly to that going on. But look, the hat's actually the right angle for the first time since I started streaming. I'm doing a proper thing. Let's get going!
Well, this is it!
Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday.
This meeting's over. Sorry.
Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that.
Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Daryan, wait! I never liked you. Either of you.
Huh? Why, Daryan? We think you're so cool with your shark costume.
Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo.
He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Bang! Eek! What was that? Did somebody just shoot somebody in the courtroom? He is heard but unseen. I'm guessing at voices.
Who's that talking?
I got it correct! Valant Grammary. Using the door like an average muggle, no less. Ha! Muggles. I get that reference.
You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valant?
A preposterous proposition. How could I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking, because I couldn't lie, you could withhold, you could just not tell people how your tricks are done. I might even have to sign autographs. The judge would want that immediately. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day, slipping through the ethereal veil.
Ooh, with vanishing magic?
Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning.
Warning? What?
A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell! There he goes.
And there he goes. Farewell, Uncle Valant. Thanks for showing up for some reason at the beginning of the trial suspiciously.
You sure seemed happy about that illusion thing.
Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like people, or making things disappear, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really.
So he was talking about what we saw at the concert.
Lamiroir's disappearing act.
And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar.
I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that has happened.
Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Excuse me, sir. Yeah? The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request, some urgent personal business. He had to go, number 2, and it took longer than expected. Great, I bet he stayed up too late last night, watching courtroom dramas. Ugh. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. Oh. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son?
Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning, the judge said he had to go visit him after the trial.
There's an article about it in the newspaper. If you care to read about it yourself. Alright, I will read about it myself. Incuritis. Incuritis. Where have I heard that before? Wasn't there something specific that we had that was a cure for incuritis, but it was banned and you couldn't bring it into the country?
I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me.
Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. I really got to figure out what kind of jam Marmaduke's in this week. July 10th, 10:30 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Okay, we're just time skipping. Can I go to the court record right now and just read it? Let's look at that before we get too far into there. Article about the Chief Justice's son, who is inflicted with incuritis. First case in country. Incuritis syndrome. There's some kind of graph over here. Not very interesting, but okay. That'll come in handy, I'm sure.
My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of... how do you say this name again?
Machi Tobaye. A suspect fortissimo.
Right. It's his trial in any case.
The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor?
No, well, yes. It's just... I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Incuritis, was it? That article said there is no known cure.
Herr Judge, let me say with an honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law.
Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday.
I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Letus.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help.
No problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out.
Hold it!
Wait. That voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it.
It was him?
That voice I heard talking to Monsieur Letus when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Monsieur Daryan.
No way!
Quite a sensational ending, yeah? Who would have thought Daryan would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect, huh?
I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings.
Daryan Christian is a member of my band, the Governors. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet, after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Aren't you aware, Herr Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi.
An alibi?
Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamiroir, and Machi, along with a drummer and bassist, for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the 3rd set. Lamiroir and the defendant, Machi Tobaye, had left the stage at that point, and the Governors were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective in the sky, mind you.
And Apollo, you heard them too, right?
I sure did. Furthermore, Lamiroir herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say, she heard the moment of the crime. Then she claims to have heard Mr. Letus and Detective Crescend talking.
But that's impossible. Detective Crescend was...
Precisely, Detective Crescend was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila! A perfect alibi.
Does the defense have anything to add to this?
It's true, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up.
It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Daryan Christian's alibi has been acknowledged.
Which means that Lamiroir was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true.
Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections.
Oh, Apollo, if he declares a verdict now...
But Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamiroir might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center?
About the case? What about the case?
You want to tell us about Mr. Latusse's death?
This meeting's over.
Daryan?
Machi was trying to tell us something, I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath.
Very well, the court finds the defendant... what was his name again?
No, we want to talk to him. Your Honor!
No, that wasn't it. It was something like Machi or Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who until now has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean no. Oh, you're going to do... Well. I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tobaye to the stand.
What? But he doesn't speak English.
We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as I love you and where's the toilet? And sometimes I mix them up and it's very embarrassing. The defense would like to request Lamiroir as the interpreter.
Lamiroir? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual.
Bravo, Herr Forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamiroir lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal.
Finally, some progress.
Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamiroir to the witness stand.
Whoa, getting a little tight in here. I suppose there is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name, to begin with, if you would, Lamiroir.
This is Machi Tobaye, the defendant.
This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would.
Huh? If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What do I want him to testify about? I didn't think about that. I thought he'd just... Normally you guys do that, and then I just ask the questions. I just press it. I hadn't thought about that far yet.
Apollo! Aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday?
How can I if I don't know what he was saying?
Excuse me, un moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lamiroir?
Just now, Machi said there is something about he wishes to testify.
Machi wants to testify about something. What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please.
The suspense is killing me.
What?
What?
Well, Lamiroir?
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What?
This is a surprise.
Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it!
This is sounding too good to believe. And I know what that usually means. Something crazy is about to happen.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lamiroir, I mean Machi. Please testify to the court.
Very well.
Proof of innocence. Proof of purchase.
He says that word of Monsieur Letoux's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is he, could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
What?
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamiroir to know the meaning of that song. Lamiroir, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked.
As my oft-repeated warning already fled that big shiny forehead, Lamiroir might be protecting the witness.
Well, anyway, let's proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. So is she lying about him? Because I can't tell if he's lying because he's not talking. But if she's lying about something he said, then my bracelet should go boom, boom. I'll just trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday, it'll work today. Proof of innocence.
He says that word of Monsieur Letoux's death came as a great shock.
Were Machi and Mr. Letoux close?
Yes, after we traveled around the world on tour together.
Lamiroir, this is Machi's cross-examination, not yours.
But I knew the answer.
This is a court of law. We'll play by the book, if you don't mind.
I understand.
When Prosecutor Gavin's tough, he's really tough.
Machi says he was very good friends with Monsieur Letoux. Monsieur Letoux was always a gentleman, never angry. We got along quite well. I never dreamed something like this would happen. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song...
The guitar's serenade, correct?
Yes, the crime followed the lyrics of the song. The set of the key ring, the burning guitar, and the bullet. This is why it could not have been me. That is he, could not have done it.
Did you do this, Lamiroir?
The phrasing of that is a little awkward. I could not have done it. You mean?
It is very simple. Machi could not have done all these things that happened that day. For all those things followed the song lyrics closely. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
Wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics? Not piano, you can just read the sheet music.
He did know what the song was about, his mood, shall we say. This was enough to play by. I told him it was a song about a guitar in love.
It's not actually the guitar that's in love, strictly speaking.
Or perhaps I misunderstood.
No, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation if you're a crazy person, which yes, you are. You are crazy. If you think guitars fall in love with anyone but me and my fingers. Okay, what?
No, it is my fault. I am too used to singing in Bourguignon. It is much easier than trying to understand these English lyrics. The language is so crazy. So many weird rules.
Yay! I knew he was innocent.
I believe he is too trucy. I do.
What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something? Did you eat too many candies?
Something's hidden in that testimony. If it's the truth, I'll find it. That word of Mr. Letoux's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is he, could not have done it. I'm going to press the bracelet. Although I don't know what I'm looking for. That all seems the same. So when you get in close, you can see his eyes. It may not be this phrase. Let me look at his eyes again. He says that because the lyrics... Oh, he's looking over to the side. Gotcha! Machi, you can't fool my eyes.
Huh?
You glanced toward her the very moment Lamiroir said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. He can't speak English, but he understands someone else saying it. Machi, tell the truth. You could understand English just fine, can't you?
What are you saying? Of course he can't.
Must he continue the charade? Mr.
Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English.
Huh?
Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language. That is all.
What? Give me a break. Is that such an unusual
word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
Well, yeah, but...
I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple, so simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper.
The newspaper?
The Bourguignon Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report this case in our homeland.
Just as a heads up, Machi is not blind. Lamiroir is. They've been faking, and it was actually the opposite of what they were telling everybody. What? In case you haven't seen the previous episodes. If I was right, I was right.
What is wrong with your Justice? Your eyes are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. I can no longer save. So, I think I have a copy of the Bourguignon newspaper. It doesn't mention the lyrics of Lamiroir's ballad in the newspaper. Specifically, when it specifically says that in the Bourguignon newspaper, I think it's pretty clear what we show. I have a Bourguignon newspaper, the Bourguignon Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. What a coincidence! I read it every day. It's a language I don't understand, but I bring it up and I just, let's skim over the pages. Indeed, there is a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
What? What is this all about?
I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Bourguignon newspaper.
What does this mean?
Say something in English. Say something in English, you wormy little squirmy.
But I don't see how it's possible. Oh, I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes, yes.
Not possible. The suspect of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper, and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in the courtroom. In English, no less.
The witness will explain herself, or himself, or just tell me what's going on because I wasn't paying attention.
What he says,
Yes?
it is true. I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
You remember?
He says he heard of the lyrics from me.
What?
Is this true, Lamiroir?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. How convenient.
It looks like Halfo has been jumping to conclusions again. Wouldn't it help your case if he'd heard it somewhere else and knew the lyrics and thus could have committed the crime? Like, you shouldn't be happy because I'm actually kind of helping your case here a little bit.
It seems so, yes.
No. No! I was onto something. I know it! I can't let the chance slip away. We have to find out the truth, even if it means Machi Tobaye is a crazy little murderer.
Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination? I would really like to go visit my friend, who may or may not be dying of an incurable incuritis.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else... my bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue.
If you must, you must. Very well. Witness.
I understand. New testimony. It was I who explained that the crime followed the song.
Alright. So we know that. Let's press it first. Exactly how much did you explain to Machi?
This is a question for me, yes?
This interpretation thing's getting old fast.
I told him that Monsieur Letus had been killed and why he was a suspect. And I told him the crimes of that day, followed by my song.
I see. The timing of that explanation would have still made it impossible for him to do it. If you're telling the truth, but you are not. Did you mention any particular words of the song related to the case? Such as heart?
Yes, of course I explained this. He was quite surprised.
Yay, I knew he was innocent.
I believe he is too, Trucy. I do.
What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something again?
Something's hidden in that testimony. Alright, we're gonna have to perceive again. It was I who explained that the crime followed the song. I bet she has a tell this time. Though I'm not certain where to look. Was it her mouth again? Let's watch again, more closely. Yeah, she murmurs here. Lamiroir, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain?
Me? Uncertain? Never.
Yeah, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. Oh, it was her neck little thing going that she does again. I see. It was I who explained.
I see. There is little point in trying to hide anything from you.
Lamiroir, are you indeed protecting someone?
That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Lamiroir, you're protecting... Machi? Letus? Not Valant. Not Valant. Although maybe. I feel like Machi's the obvious answer here. Let's try Machi. Lamiroir, you are protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it, really. But you've lied to us twice, and now you have Lamiroir lying on your behalf, and that's perjury, and that's bad. If this is going to work, you have to trust me, too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to.